Before we get this show on the road, I thought I would just come out with a wee content statement before anyone starts commenting, asking why I've managed to get the opportunity to interview Declan Gallagher and Stephen O'Donnell. Over the past few months, I've been recording podcasts over Zoom calls and I've had fantastic contributions from everyone involved. However, for the project that I'm currently working on, I wanted to have more than just Zoom footage, so I asked if it would be possible to meet the players and get a short interview recorded face to face. Due to the current COVID restrictions, all rules were followed by everyone involved. My mum, who I live with, was behind one of the cameras and wore a mask at all times. We had our temperatures taken upon arrival, and both interviews I filmed were overseen by Laura Brannan, who is an employee at Motherwell Football Club, and it was to make sure I was behaving and not fanboying too much. I'm kidding on. But yeah, I must thank the club for allowing me to set foot in the ground for the first time since March the 4th, 2020, to get this opportunity. It meant the world to me, and even though it was just for a short time, we were literally in and out very quickly, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Hey guys, Goggsy here and welcome to this special interview. Today I've been joined by Motherwell and Scotland right back Stephen O'Donnell. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Goggsy. Nice to meet you. So not a bad day for Motherwell for a change.
I know, absolutely, fantastic. So are you still blushing after giving Alaba the city?
I know, I'm not so sure about that, but no, it was certainly not, a decent performance. Was done my job defensively, managed to get an assist as well, but obviously you always want to try and do better, no matter who you're against, and that'll continue to be the case.
Absolutely. Did you get a shot?
I did get a shot. Obviously COVID safe and all that, got me signed as well, so obviously be well aware of where I've been in my career, so I've never had that many opportunities to play against world class players, and I certainly enjoyed it, and it was nice to get a stop after.
So, in terms of memorabilia, is that the most special one, or have you picked up something that's even more close to you?
I don't know, I think probably the best one's my first Scotland game. I've got that, my first game against Peru, I've got that it's actually in my wee boy's toy room, so I've got that framed up on the wall because it's probably the most special top I'll ever have. I scored a winner at the Euros. If I played then maybe that might trump it, but no, look, that's certainly one you can't have your first cap again, and it will always be got a place in my heart. The positive is I've played Belgium about 8 times, so I've got Eden Hazard and Jan Vertonghen as well, so they're pretty cool tops. But no, certainly again it's getting to kind of compete against these guys is always great to see where you're at. Sometimes you're a wee bit off it, but sometimes you can perform well, and that's it.
So the moment you got the call up from the Scotland gaffer, what was going through your mind?
The first trip of the trip there?
The first trip when you were called up the first time.
Well, the first time I didn't get a call from the gaffer. I got a call from, it was Art McLeish was the manager at the time, but I got a call from his name's Frank Riley. He is the kind of organises everything basically. He does all speaks to people and checks. So there'd been talk I was maybe going to be in it. I then wasn't in the original squad, and then when there was a couple of call-offs, I got a phone call and got asked if I was available. Obviously I said no, look, I've booked a holiday so I can't come. But no, look, I got the call and obviously was delighted to say yes and got to fly over to Peru.
Absolutely. What is your earliest memory of watching the Scotland national team as a supporter?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think the one that sticks out is probably Fadi's goal. I think as a you can remember it, so like yesterday the way he turned and just the hit. Actually, ironically, in that trip there, I had to do a kind of mock commentary of it as a laugh, but that's probably one of the ones that stands out. You can just remember kind of Craig Brown and all that kind of characters back then. I was fortunate enough to play with Jackie McNamara. Or not play with him, sorry. He was my manager at Thistle, and he obviously went to the '98 World Cup. So kind of lots of memories around it, but that'd be probably the standout one.
Okay, so take us through an average day in the life of an international footballer.
Away with the Scotland team, or
Yeah.
away with the Scotland? Well, it's just kind of similar to kind of pre-season with a club. If you go away to kind of sometimes you go pre-season to Spain or something, you get your routine, you've got your programme. So we're up for breakfast because of COVID. It makes it a bit tricky. You need to eat at different times. I think we're split into 2 different groups, and you're literally like at the other end of the room to other people. It's a bit antisocial. But obviously, sadly, COVID has been antisocial for everyone, so we're no different. But you get up, you get your breakfast, you go over, you do half an hour in the gym beforehand. If you're getting any treatment or anything, you can get that. Then you're out on the pitch normally for about 10:30, 11. Train for an hour and a half, get back in, do your recovery, go in the pool, get an ice bath, hot bath. Because what I've mentioned before when I've been asked about kind of managers for international football, it's ridiculously hard because you only have maybe 2 sessions that full week that you're able to train. I think we maybe only trained as a full team once because your boys that play on Saturday, so they need the 2-day recovery, so that's Tuesday. Then you've got boys that play on the Sunday, so they get 2 days, which is then the Wednesday. So it makes it very difficult for a manager to get his coaching points across because the boys aren't on the pitch. That's just sadly the way football's went, especially at the top level. So it kind of makes it just for a different kind of week. And then we were fortunate enough you can get after in the afternoon you can go back to the gym if you want to do a bit extra, or you've got top masseurs there if you want a rub to kind of flush the legs, which certainly after the games I make the most of.
Yeah, so you hear people say the fact that Steve Clarke's got a sort of club feel around the Scotland squad. What is the actual difference between match preparation for Scotland and Motherwell?
The biggest difference is you're with these guys day in, day out. I think that's maybe one of the hardest things with the old manager and the new manager as well here is that there's been a lot of injuries, there's been a lot of changes of players coming in. If you go now, it makes it difficult to get that togetherness, to get that continuity. And I think that's exactly what every international manager faces. It's very tough to get that blend of team spirit, togetherness, knowing each other's system. I don't know if you play football yourself. Like
I used to.
You'll have your mate, so he's good with his left foot, he's good with his right foot. Like it's all kind of similar. Obviously, you know the player more than that, but it's wee little movements that can make a difference in a game, and trying to build those relationships, which only come over time. But whenever there's so many changes, as I said, like with our squad this season, it makes it difficult. But that's certainly something I've certainly managed to be as a positive for myself away in Scotland.
What's the best stadium you've played in?
The best atmosphere is, so I'll answer it too quick. The best atmosphere is Peru. It was their last trip. Kind of hoping that we would have the similar at Handon, but I know obviously with COVID that's not going to happen. But I think it was our first World Cup in 20 odd years, and the place I think there was something like 300,000 tickets. They tried to buy them, only 40 could get it. So 40,000 were in, and it was jam packed. The streets were mobbed. It was like such a carnival celebration, singing constantly. It was incredible atmosphere. But the best stadium would probably then be the Azteca. Yeah. Got to play in that. It was a pretty cool experience, a pretty cool stadium. I'd have loved to have played in the Serbia one. I don't know what that stadium's called, but no, is it in Serbia?
Aye.
Is that the one they got? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. So that was Andy Robertson, and he played. Whatever team plays in there, we played them, and when you've gone under the army lines, the lines and corridor next season, it's quite a bit effective. I think they won 2 or 3-0, but in terms of intimidating wise, the army was right lined along. There's like blood on the wall. It's red paint, but just to kind of give that atmosphere. Then you come up underneath. Obviously, we came up underneath to nobody there, so it wasn't quite as bad. But that'd have been a cool one to experience.
Fantastic. So I've got this running thing on the documentary of where were you the moment Mitrovic had his penalty saved by David Marshall?
Sadly, I was on the touchline. I'd blown up for the 9th game in a row. Plus, as well, I think at 118 minutes, Steve Clarke's looking around going, I could stick on, was it Lee Griffiths?
Yeah.
I could put him on, he's no bad at hitting the ball. I've got Stephen that can't move anymore, so we'll make a wee switch. But no, I was on the touchline, and ironically, whenever I ran, I didn't cramp up. But I think there's a picture of him at the bottom of a pilot, and I've never feared for my life so much. There was about 30 people on top of me. My arm was killing me. I was panicking, but it was certainly an amazing moment.
I have a couple of quick make or break questions before you go. So you have to make a match day playlist, but you only choose 3 artists. Who's in it?
Maybe Kanye West. Some of his older stuff, Graduation. Quite like that. It's not very quick fire. I'm hopeless at this. Tony's been sticking on Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think it's the gaffer likes it, so we'll stick Red Hot Chili Peppers in it. And I'd probably like a bit more relaxed, maybe Jason Derulo or something like that.
Fair enough. If you can make a 5-a-side team up of players that you've played alongside, who's that?
Am I playing?
Yeah.
Am I the manager or am I playing?
Player manager.
And I need a keeper. I'd probably say in 5s, I'd probably take Liam Kelly. He's on the ball. If you see him in the games, he's one of the best with his feet and can zing it out. I'd put myself, obviously I need to find a place for myself, so put me at the back, just kind of kicking it away, and then I'd have Lawless, Stevie Lawless. Got a great relationship when I was at Thistle with him. Protects the ball very well, and I can imagine 5s is probably his size of pitch. You know, it's in comparison to his size, so it's all good in relation. And Ryan Fraser, again, similar in stature, technically brilliant.
I'm still mesmerised that he won that header for that goal against the Pharaohs.
Oh, he's some boy. He's honestly a top player. Maybe doesn't get the credit he maybe deserves. He's obviously done no bad. He's playing the Premiership, but maybe Stuart Armstrong. Put him a bit more attacking, and I need a striker. I'll let you pick who do you want me to bring in? Somebody like maybe Higdon or something.
Yeah, Michael Higdon.
Michael Higdon. I'll put him up top.
Big
Higgy up top. So give us that vocal point in the 5-a-sides.
Absolutely. So I've asked you some questions. Have you got anything to ask me?
How are you finding not coming to the stadium?
Depression. Like I've sat in the same desk chair every Motherwell game that I've seen, watching this on my TV screen. It's absolutely not the same.
No, it's not ideal. I think everybody's kind of got that same feeling towards it. And would you hope you can get down to the England game?
Oh yeah, like I've already looked at accommodation and travelling down, but I mean, if I can't go, then there's no point in travelling for me. I'd rather sit with my mates and just watch it.
Fair enough. And then I'll give you one last question. Where were you whenever the shot was saved, the penalty was saved? And that same app desk chair?
Yeah. we were live streaming on YouTube. The stream got over 10,000 views, and we were actually put on the national team channel.
Brilliant.
The fan reactions.
Alright, brilliant.
And we appeared like 10 seconds before Andy Murray did. So.
Bloody hell, that's not bad at all. Don't even know if I made that.
But thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you can have a great end to the season and get a cup winners medal.
No, fingers crossed, hopefully.
And a Euros
medal. I wouldn't mind that either.